Hi everybody, this is Rose with with Rose Knows. I forgot what channel I was on. Rose Knows Money Making. Let's get it right. Bloopers. That was a big blooper. So I wanted to talk today about flipping for a profit. Now, I had a great video that I did with Left Lane Finds, and she flips for a profit. Well, I had issues with my phone. Major issues. So my phone overheated and it kept saying internal storage, and I started deleting stuff off my phone. And that was accidentally one of the videos. But she was talking about a lot of good things where people can flip for a profit for quick, easy money. And now she was talking about also things that she looks for that she can do as a reseller, selling stuff on the internet. Now she has Poshmark and Etsy and all that stuff. But I wanted to make this a short video today about things that she said that hit me where you could make a quick profit. And I was really surprised. I was like, it sounds similar to what we used to do in the past. There's places out there, one I think it's called something Mentor. It's like a higher end clothing store, um, thrift shop, and the other place was called Plato's Closet. We found these two in Toledo. I don't know what's all in your area, but you can use other thrift stores to do this, or consignment shops, whatever you want to do. She said a lot of times you go into places that, certain Goodwills or Salvation Armies, and we have the bins where, you pay by the poundage. You might get 10 shirts and pay $1, you know what I mean? When you get where you're getting a lot of stuff for a very, very low price, you can take it to a consignment shop or a thrift store. Make sure it's clean and neat first. And they will buy it from you. Now, I don't know if Plato's Closet or the other place still does it. I do know they give you 30% off in-store uh, credit. So, but there's other places that you can take it to. Or you can take it to the farmer's market and set up a stand yourself and sell it for whatever you want. You'd be surprised. People do buy stuff like that. They're like, oh, that's what I've been looking for. That's that London Fog jacket that I seen. I really want to buy those. Now here you got it for $10. It's a $300 jacket. You may have paid 25 cents for it, but that person's still getting a sale deal because it's normally would be a $300 jacket and they're paying $10 for it. Really think this through. I mean, we used to do years ago with the jewelry. Not so much anymore because Goodwill kind of caught on to our tactics. But we used to go into Goodwill and go through their jewelry. And anything that we saw that was gold, looked like a real diamond or stone in it, anything like that, we would buy it up. And of course, back then you could buy stuff, 50 cents, $1, and it would be a high-end jewelry. Then we'd take it to the jewelry stores and we would sell it to the jewelry stores. I could make a quick, flip a quick profit that way. We literally go into Goodwill, take it out, check it out, and go right down to the jewelry store and sell it to the jewelry store, which was right down the street. And we'd make, some days it was only $10 we made. Other days we made $100 or $200. You never know what you're going to find. These flip for a profit quick is actually a really good idea. You could buy stuff up out of those bins, come home, take pictures of it, and throw it up on Facebook Marketplace, and people are going to get a hold of you. You're like, oh, I want that. I want that toaster because that's the kind of toaster I've been looking for. It's got to be able to do the bread and the bagels, you know. They may want that kind of toaster or that kind of coffee pot. They might have been looking for that kind of coffee pot, but doesn't want to pay the $80 for, you know, in-store prices or whatever it is. You can flip for a profit real easy. And then I know the people that will go look for things in other people's garbage. They'll bring it home, scrub it up, take a picture of it, put it right on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and sell it. Or they'll wait until the weekend and have a garage sale, or take it to the farmer's market and set up their little stand. You pay what, $20 for a little stand area? You set up a table, you set stuff on there, and you mark your prices. And if you get there early, this is another little tip. If you keep your prices low real early in the morning, I'm talking like 6 o'clock in the morning, not only do the early birds get there and buy your stuff up, but other stand holders will see your prices are cheap. They will come buy it and they'll resell it at their stand for a higher price. So you're making cash right off the bat. Pays for your stand, pays for your lunch for the day, pays for you sitting there, you know, your time. And then after that first early morning frenzy gets done with, raise your prices. Then people will see, okay, she wants this, this, and that, and then make whatever the rest of the day. I'm telling you, it works. If you're looking for a quick flip, make that money, you might drive down the street and see a really beautiful couch. Couches are hard to flip. Don't let these people fool you. They're not easy. Then you got a place that you have to have a place to store them that's not out in the weather. You know, just covering up with a tarp outside is not going to do it any good because it sucks in all that moisture in the air. It's got to be indoors where it's dry, you know, and at a good temperature. It can't be out in a hot shed where it's building up moisture and then it's got the heat on top. It'll get mouse infested or whatever. But if you have a place you can bring it in and sell it real quick, you know, get on Facebook Marketplace and tell them, I want $200 for this couch. It's in great condition. You know, it has this, this, and that. And there's no flaws except for, if there's any flaws, you always want to mention the flaws. And take a picture of the flaws so they can see it. And say, the only flaw is this little tiny, 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 you know, thing where the tack came out in the very back. Easy peasy fix. Somebody's going to want that. Well, you can do that with kitchen chairs. You can do it with whatever. You can go through your own attic and garage and sell it for a quick flip. These are easy things to do. Look at those bin sales. Really look at them. Because you may pay a quarter for something that, you know, is worth quite a bit. And look it up and see what resellers are selling it for. I mean, that way you can get an idea on how to price it. That way you're ahead of the game. Watch Left Lane Finds. She explains all these little things she does. And I'm truly amazed with the stuff that she does. I'm like, oh, I'm running 3 channels and I'm busy. Plus I travel all over the US. And I do that from my one channel. But she's doing this part-time to fund her skiing trips. And her skiing trips can be expensive. I'm talking about she goes to the good areas. You know, she gets the higher end, nicer stuff. You know, it's you pay for that kind of stuff. You want to do that kind of stuff. You have to find a way outside of your regular household income to make that extra money to fund for those things, or to help fund your business, or to, you know, do something special that year you want to do, that mini vacay. You have to look outside of the box. And sometimes you got to do things that you wouldn't normally do. You'd be like, oh, I'm not digging through somebody's garbage. You're not ripping open their garbage bags and pulling their diapers out. You're not doing that. you're looking for furniture set alongside it, something that you can flip fast, something that's in decent condition. You may have to come home and do a quick spray paint job on it, let it dry, and sell it, You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Almost everything in this house, the house in Pennsylvania, I've got them for free. And I'm still using it. Still using it to this day. I got 3 curio cabinets, uh, these chairs. You know what? So be it. I love these chairs. Love these chairs. Now, I gave them all to my sister. My sister now owns this house, and she lives here, and I'm happy to come here and vacay. I get to go hang out with my sisters and sit here, and I get to still use my furniture, although they're hers now. But let me tell you how easy it is. You could literally fill your entire house with furniture and dishes and stuff doing these things. Think about that. Other people are willing to pay for something that you got for free or for 25 cents. You go to a garage sale and you see everything's marked down really low and it's in good condition, buy it up. If they're selling it for a quarter, you buy it up, you bring it home, make sure it's clean, and put it right on Facebook Marketplace and sell it. You'd be surprised. So what you paid a quarter for, you might get $15 for someplace else. Really think about these things, because if you could make, say you make $30 a day, that's in your part-time. Just, after work, and you put that up, and you get off work and you come home and you see, oh, somebody answered your listing. They want to meet up and, come get it. Get a hold of them. Say, I can meet you at, the convenience store down the street. Meet them in a public place where there's lots of people going in and out. Some people say, well, go to a police station. At least you're always on camera. Well, there's not people going in and out of there. There's not a large amount. You want where you're in public, where lots of people see you, where you're, a convenience store, a grocery store parking lot, something like that, a Walmart. Go meet them someplace like that, where there's lots of people. Walmarts have a ton of cameras. Perfect place to go be. I'll meet you in the Walmart parking lot. When you get there, I'll tell you this is what my vehicle looks like. And they always have security running around somewhere. Do it, do it, do it. If you can flip for a quick profit. Now, if it's a couch, they're probably going to have to come pick it up. Or if you have a truck, maybe you'll offer to take it to them. But you'll want that extra $20 to pay for your gas and time. Let them know that. Say, hey, I want an extra, couple dollars for my gas and time because I really didn't have the time for this, and I really don't have the gas for it. You'd be surprised. Some people will be like, don't worry, I'll give you the extra $20. And then get an extra $20. And it costs you, less than $1 to drive there. Think about these things. It's sometimes it's so easy. One time I picked up a stand, like an outdoor garden shelving, but it was all wood and it was really beautiful. And I brought it home and I set it on my front lawn and I put up a price on there. Now it was damaged, it needed reworked, and I didn't have time for that. I think I put up a sign on it for $15. Within about a week, somebody pulled up front and knocked on my door. And they're like, hey, you got this stand out here, or is there any way you're willing to take $10? And at that point, I wanted to mow that lawn, but I didn't want to try to move that stand again because it was really heavy. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll take $10. I got for free. I didn't tell them that. I said, it really has this and this and this issue. And they're like, oh, don't worry, we're going to redo the whole thing. We're going to, sand it down and repaint it and fix these shelves. And they had other plans for it. They saw it and they wanted it. They're like, perfect use. They have a perfect use for it. Yeah, I was willing to come down $5. But there I was, just, found something alongside the road, threw it in my truck, I brought it home, I set up in my yard, I put a little sign on it, for sale. That was $10 I made. You have to start thinking, okay, this year, maybe I can do a couple of these and earn enough money to do this specific thing that I want to do. And try it, see if it works. Try it, try it, try it. You'd be surprised. You find some China dishes that are beautiful and you look them up on, resellers like Etsy or whatever, uh, eBay, and you see, oh, they're selling for $150 on eBay. You know, why don't you, if you don't know how to do that, why don't you start watching YouTubes about resellers and how to do this process and learn how to do your own store and ship things out and you learn. It's a process. You got to start doing it in order to learn. You'd be surprised. Something that you brought home, you cleaned up, you washed them, you set them aside, you listed them, took pictures, you wrote down whatever, you put in the comments, if there's a chip plate or a little bit of the paint removed or, you know what I mean, you gotta list the flaws, you gotta let them know, okay, this one particular item in this set has a flaw. People will still buy it. Or you can remove that flawed piece and sell the rest as a set. And then save that flawed piece for something else. You have to think outside the box. You'd be surprised. And if you gotta flip couches, you have a storage space or a garage where you can keep them, where they're gonna keep at a good even temperature and stay clean. Do it, do it, do it. Absolutely. And if it's in a storage unit, you can get people to meet you at a storage unit. Most of those places are on camera. Take some big burly next door neighbor with you and say, I'm going to need somebody to help me to, load this couch onto that person's truck. Plus, you'll be there for my safety. That's an awesome thing to do. And you'll make money. So you might have gotten the couch for free and you just sold it for $150. Why not? Go do it. Because I'll tell you what, you could make some money. Now, couches are a little harder to flip and it takes longer and you may have to fix stuff on them or you may have to do something to make them a little nicer or shampoo them or whatever. But you know what? You're going to make that money. Now, I like to tend to stay with the smaller stuff that's easier to flip. Or I take them up, load up my truck, and I take them to the farmer's market. I set up a stand. I pour everything on my truck. I set it up. And I sit there on my little chair with my coffee. And I wait for the people to come to me. I will help them load it, once they get their vehicle and bring it down to pick it up. Furniture goes well at places like that. Think about that. Somebody walking around and all of a sudden they see that kitchen table that would perfectly sit at that one spot in their house. They're going to buy it. They're going to buy it. So do it, do it, do it. I love you all. I made this way longer than I wanted to, but I get talking and I just can't stop. I hope I gave you some great ideas. And if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. I might do a shout out to you. So Left Lane Finds is always leaving awesome comments. So this one's one for her. I love you. I love you all. See you later. Don't forget to subscribe.